Okay. So we subtract 3 from both sides.
Then multiplied by x.
Good. What are we going to end up with?
And then, let me just, so the, x equals 1.
Cool. You're right. But first we'd have 2 equals 2x, right? Which tells us x is 1. All right, you got that already? You good?
Yeah.
Okay. We're making a small change now. So again, the same thing happens here. We need to get that x out of that denominator.
Alright.
Okay? So, similar problem, small change. Now what?
Subtract 3x.
Why?
Well, we still have to, but I know how.
Okay. Yeah, before, in this problem,
You can divide by 3.
you can't do that yet.
Yeah.
Nah. Like here, like we did this right here,
Right.
because that put the 3 and the 5 together and simplify. Alright? Subtracting the 3 from here, 3x, isn't going to put them together, it's just going to move it to the side. There's nothing wrong with doing that, you just don't have to do it.
Alright, so divide by 3.
You can't divide by 3 either. Well, you can divide by 3, but that's not going to make this simpler for us.
So multiply by x.
Yeah, and the first thing you always want to do is get rid of the x in the denominator. So, you write it like this. Just put this down. Multiply by x.
Alright.
That's going to get distributed to every single term that's in here. So 3 things get this x. What's that first thing going to become?
2x.
Well, it's 2x over.
Oh yeah, so that just, it's just 2.
It's just 2. Okay, so let's cross it all out. It's 2. And then
Plus 3x squared. Plus 5x equals 5x.
equals 5x. Now how do we solve this?
Then subtract 2. Or 5 by 5.
To get x by itself?
Yeah.
Can't do that because you got this x squared.
You have to get the, well, you can. Divide by 3.
What kind? These are all. I understand what you're doing, man. But what you're trying to do right now is use like techniques that work when there's only one x term. But we have 2. We have an x squared and an
You
x.
have to find the square root.
Can't even do that one. You could go that route if it was just 1x squared and no other x's. Okay, but you can't. What do you do when there's an x squared and an x? Really, 2 options.
5 by x squared. Well, if it's just x, then the other side, then it would cancel out.
Nah, because you get back to where you came from. You got to divide 2 by x also. Doesn't work. Okay. What kind of equation is this? Starts with a Q.
Quadratic formula.
It's a quadratic equation. So we're going to end up having to use
Quadratic formula.
or what?
Or
Quadratic formula always works. But we can also try to factor. Okay. So what do we got to do in order to get this into the right form?
Subtract 5x.
So what's that going to look like?
So it'd be 3x squared minus 5x plus 2. So
Equals.
equals 0.
Okay.
So it'd be 3x.
Now I don't know if this is going to factor. We can try it out. Okay. So if that's 3x, this has to be an x, right?
Right. So it'd be, you can only do 2 and 1.
Yeah.
So plus 2 for yeah, plus 2 minus 1.
Close. That's going to, that'll give us a 5, but it'll be positive.
Oh, so it'd be minus 2 plus 1.
Okay. Even that's not going to work out. Although it looks like it should, because we need a plus 2 here.
So
Okay. Doesn't factor. which is fine. I mean, if it's something that you're unsure of anyway, you don't even have to try to factor it. You can just jump right into the quadratic formula. Okay, but that's how you would solve it. I know you can do the quadratic formula, right? So let's just run through this real quick. What would it be?
X equals negative b plus or minus.
Okay, well, which is what? Just let's plug it in. Oh, we'll write it out now. So negative b is what?
Negative b, negative, no, it would be 5 plus or minus negative 5 squared minus 4 minus 3 so, divided by 2 will be 6 divided by 6.
Okay.
That would be could be 1 in there.
Oh, this does factor. It would have factored. It's alright. The reason that I know that it would have factored is because the square root's going to simplify. We're going to get two nice numbers. Okay. So what are our two answers here?
What? It would be
What does it say to do? What's the square root of 1?
1.
Yeah. So we have 5 plus 1 over 6 and 5 minus 1 over 6. What are those answers?
1 and negative 1.
No.
Oh. Square root of 3. 2/3.
Okay. Those are two answers there. Now, something that you haven't really had to do before, that you have to do when you're solving rational equations, you don't want to say to you? What if you check with these?
If that equals, you have to plug it back in.
Okay, that's true. So that's just checking your work in general. But you also got to make sure that when you plug these back in, you don't make the denominator 0.
Alright.
Because if you make the denominator 0, then you've got to undefine. It's not really an answer.
Alright.
Okay.
So if you come up with a 0, then the whole thing's undefined.
In this case, yeah, if we ended up getting x equals 0, that's not a solution. Okay? So that's the basic idea here. Now all they're going to do is make this a little bit more complicated by adding more stuff. Okay? So you might see something like this. Same idea, but now we've got more stuff to worry about. Okay, now again, these might not factor super well. I'm going to grab a book, and I'll pull out ones that I know will work, okay? But how will we handle this? What's the first step to doing this?
You would have to add 2 over x minus 1. No.
No. Yeah, you're all adding stuff over there. Like, you only want to add stuff to the side if it will combine with things.
Okay.
Okay? That's not going to happen. So what should our first goal here be?
Try to get the same denominators.
Okay, we can try and combine them, but really we want to eliminate them altogether. We want to get rid of those denominators.
Alright.
How do we get rid of the x before? If it's in the denominator, what do we do?
Just multiply by x.
We multiply by the denominator we didn't want.
Right.
Well, what do we want here?
Well, multiply x plus 1 and then x minus 1.
Yeah, man, we do both at the same time.
And then, so it'd be just 3x plus 3, and then minus 2x plus 2.
Are you multiplying one at a time?
Yeah.
Okay. You can do that. Maybe I'm trying to do too much here, I guess. But one thing you can do is if you're going to multiply both of these together, like into here,
Yeah.
what's going to happen to those x plus 1s?
Oh, they're gonna cross out.
For that one, it's going to cross out. So what's going to be there? Now they're going to like this. This would essentially be this. It would be 3. Don't worry about multiplying them together first. It'd be this over.
Alright.
So what's really left there?
Just, 0.
No, why 0?
Or 1.
What's going to cancel out?
The x plus 1.
Yeah. So what's left? What's still there?
1.
Well, that's a 1, but what else is still there? This 3's not going anywhere. This x minus 1's not going anywhere.
X minus
Yeah, times.
times 3.
Yeah, they're still there. Again, we're multiplying by x plus 1 because we want to cancel it out in that denominator.
Alright.
What's going to happen in the second one? When we multiply all that stuff.
It would be 2 times x plus 1 over x plus 1. Or no, just 2 times x plus 1.
Because what happens to the x minus 1s?
They cross out.
They cross out. What's next?
Can multiply.
True, we gotta keep going here though, right?
So it'd be, 3 times x plus 1 times x minus 1.
Yeah, so these don't cancel. But now, so look what we've accomplished now though. Before we had x's in the denominator and you can't work with those. Now they're not in the denominator anymore. We multiplied to cancel that division.
Alright.
Okay?
And then you multiply.
Yep, so what are we gonna get? We're gonna multiply everything out.
3x minus 3.
Okay?
Negative 2x minus 2
Good.
equals,
Just pretend that 3's there. Just do these two. What do you multiply those out?
x squared, this minus 1.
There you go. So yeah, the 3 stays out front, and you just have x squared minus 1. Okay, and now multiplied. Okay, so do it step by step.
Alright, and then the 3x squared minus 3.
There you go. Okay. So let's simplify all this stuff together. You're right. This side's going to be 3x squared minus 3.
Alright.
What's on the other side?
It would be just x, minus 5.
Okay. So how do we solve this?
We'd have to put it in the correct formula.
Cool. But first, you got to put it into the right, like the right form.
Okay. So it'd be 3x squared plus x, minus 8. I mean,
It'd be
minus
minus
2.
minus x
Minus x minus 2. Right? Oh, yeah.
plus 2. Yeah. So yeah, we'd have 0 over here. I guess. Like this.
So it'd be,
Okay. I'm pretty sure this is not going to factor, so we'd have to do the quadratic formula. Okay. I don't want to get into all that. We'll practice that more later on. Okay. But main idea here, all that's new is that you need to get those x's out at the denominator. Okay. So here, I want you to try and, let's stop this. I'm videoing this, by the way.